Hello YouTubers, Traws here, back with some more Kerbal Space Program career mode on the 0.9 beta version. And last time we had upgraded the vehicle assembly building to level 2, so now we can finally build ships that are up to 255 parts, and that's going to make it relatively easy to get to the moon now. We'll be able to build spaceships with enough parts and enough stages that we won't be anywhere near the limit. We probably might have... You can probably build something less than 30 parts and get to the moon, but you can't really bring much with you. The only things we haven't upgraded right now is the administration building, the spaceplane hangar, and the runway. I'd like to upgrade the runway and the spaceplane hangar, but that's about 300,000 and we're nowhere near that. So let's take some contracts and then alright, and get some more funds. Well, I'm thinking of going to the moon. If we're going to the moon, we can get some science from space around Kerbin, and for already, for extra 30,000, that seems reasonable enough. What do we have currently? Test the LV-1 on escape trajectory. Alright. Let's accept this contract. This is not really worth it, I would say. Neither is this. That's just a little bit of good science, but let's see if there's anything else. No, it's visual survey. I would like to do visual surveys. I mean, you get, this is almost 100,000. Well, it is with the advance, and then it's at least another 40, 45. I'm gonna take this. We're probably not gonna do this though until we have upgraded the landing strip and the spaceplane hangar. Position in a specific orbit around the moon. This is a lot of nice science. I'd like to do this. And actually, since there's... there's two of these. No, this is, I'm wondering... if we can take them both and get them both accomplished. Alright. Test a parachute. Now this is decent science, decent completion, but if you're coming back from orbit, you're not going to be going that slow, that high up. But this does expire in a day, so I'm gonna take this just so it doesn't expire. We have a year to do it. And we can take one more. And if we're going to the moon, we might as well do this one. Alright, so if we're going to the moon, we can get science data from around Kerbin. We can deploy 2 satellites while we're there, and we can explore the moon. And, I'd like to... This expires in 5 hours. We won't be able to get to rescue this guy if we are going to the moon, because it's gonna obviously takes more than 5 hours to get to the moon. Whoa, this is already filled up with more stuff. Alright, that's what we're going for. What science tech can we unlock that will be useful? Well, let's see here. Definitely, I think RCS will be useful. We actually can almost unlock all of these but one. RCS is going to be useful. And we can't unlock any of these. Actually, no, we can only unlock one more. Not all of them. I think fuel lines will be more useful. Alright, so this is what we're going with. But, yeah, that reminds me, we did not upgrade R&D, and that's going to need a lot of funds in order to increase the science. I guess we're sending one guy to the moon, and, well, fuel tanks. Let's do one big tank. four smaller tanks. Put some fuel lines on there. And 4 engines. And 4 goo pods. And I'm thinking 4 parachutes. And 4 landing gear. And 4 solar panels. You know, we'll do an extra parachute for good luck. So this will be our lander. 35 parts and 18 tons that would not have even fit in the previous VAB. Let's do 2 lights, so we may wind up landing on the dark side. Now we need, well, we need 2 things, or should I say a few things. Let's move that up a little, like that. And that will allow us to put a decoupler on the bottom to attach to the rest of the rocket. We also now need to build 2 little satellites, and they'll attach them to the side here. That's 250, and that's 60. I said RCS would be useful, and it's of course, center mass has to be there. That'll be about good. Only gonna put 3 solar panels on these probes. And let's put that back on here. We want to put some sort of science on the probes just so they have a purpose. Put it down there. Also going to put the thermometer right there. Need a radial decoupler now. And of course, why don't you want to fit on now, probe? What if I... tiny probe subassembly. Will that let you stick on? Why don't you want to stick on? Well, it's not what I was planning on doing, but and this may make they're a little wobbly, but I will work something out. We'll put the probes being dragged behind. Okay. I'm now kind of making this up as I go along because I'm not sure what I should be doing or how I should be constructing this, but this is the 45 vectored thrust. This is going to be wobbling around, so we need to secure it. Hoping this stage will get us into orbit around Kerbin with maybe some fuel left. I'm highly doubtful of that, though. We'll stick this up here. Engines. For these, I'm going to put the more powerful 30 engines on, but they don't have thrust vectoring, but we'll have these firing at the same time. So we'll have some engines with control. And we are going to asparagus stage these. Add some struts. Okay, that should all be secure. And this didn't go too well last time, but we're definitely going to need some solids. Well, let's copy these. Holding Alt to do a copy. Well, we're well within the part limit. We're not within the weight limit. By quite a bit. 75 tons. Good on height, width, length, parts. I don't need those anymore. That doesn't really change our mass, though. Kind of wish I knew how overblown this is. How much I'm overdoing this by. Wow, that's still overweight. Well, I guess I will leave one of the probes off. We'll do one orbit, whichever one happens to work out easier, because at this point, I'm not even sure this is going to get into orbit. We're up to mission 14. I'm only putting moon attempt because I'm not quite sure that we're gonna make it. Save. Alright, let's make sure our staging is correct. And it's not. Alright, we launch. We have all the liquids and the solids going. We want to get up close to 200, but then keep at 200 meters per second until we're about 10,000 feet. At that point, the air starts thinning out, and basically your terminal velocity starts increasing rapidly, so it's a lot less drag to go faster. Basically, below 10,000, if you're going faster than 200, a lot of your fuel is spent on drag. You may seem to be going faster, but you would have much more fuel and have a faster speed overall if you kept to 200 to about 10,000 and then increase your throttle. So that is what we'll be doing. At some point before 10,000, I'm sure it's going to be maybe 5,000 even, we're going to drop the solids, and then we'll just have the liquids. At some point, hopefully past 10,000, hopefully closer to 20,000, we will drop the first set of liquids. Hopefully then the remaining liquids will last us into orbit. We'll achieve orbit, then we'll head for the moon. At some point they will run out. We will drop them, and at that point we will switch to these 4 liquid engines. I am going to put the probe in this stage up here. Drop the probe, activate this engine once we're at the moon, land on the moon, come back. That should be more than plenty of fuel. The probe needs an antenna. I am not taking antenna. We will be returning all this. At least that's the plan. Save. Let's see how badly this goes. Just because, yeah, we have Jeb. That's what I was hoping for. We are going to need him. Let's get this set up while we're at it. Alright. Yeah, I'm going to start off with throttle at 50%. Hopefully you know what? Just be safe, 100%. Yeah, we need to get up to speed first before we start saving fuel. Need to get some science once we're in orbit, but that shouldn't be a problem. Let's launch in 3, 2, 1. Oh, we're going up. About 150, I'll start throttling back. Forgot to turn on SAS. I'm gonna lose the solids here in a second. Away nicely, throttle up a little and maintain speed. The liquids aren't going to last me as long as I had hoped, which may be a problem. I'm trying to stay about 200. Throttling it up because here goes the liquids, and these have to last me into orbit. Start our gravity turn. we're starting to pick up speed. It'd be nice if we could pick up speed quicker, but we're pretty heavy compared to our engine thrust. Alright, that's going to climb up slowly. We need to, though, double our orbital speed to get it up to 21 kilometers per, or 2.1 kilometers per second. I'm not sure we're going to be able to do that before this stage runs out. Alright, we should be going full horizontal at this point. Or up high enough. We're going to have to use a bit of our lander fuel. We have more than plenty in the lander. And it's got us most of the way there. Nose down. Actually, let's plan this out. We got time. About a 45-second burn, according to this. Yeah, that won't be plenty to get us into orbit. In fact, at this point, we can basically go straight for the moon. We've got 2-minute burn. No, 2 minutes 15 seconds. So we want to start with about 1 minute and 7 to go. I'm gonna... Can't tell them to hold target yet. Alright, we're gonna throttle up in about 3, 2, 1, go. Once we do achieve orbit, I need to take a temperature reading, and I think we are in orbit. Keep data. Data, we'll retrieve it once we're gliding towards the moon. It's going to take maybe about half our fuel. So we may not land. We may only be flying by. Still, so we'll see how things go. Can you EVA? Look at that. Keep that data. Grab. Take data and board. And we're on our way to the moon. In fact, it looks like we have a near free return. Trajectory, meaning we can just come back and all we have to do is slow down slightly and we'll return. So let's fast forward, time warp here, and see how this goes. Does look like we are going to impact. Alrighty, we are approaching. According to my quick research as we approached, it takes about 800 delta V to orbit. So we're probably not going to have enough to land. Doing there's the moon. Where's our no, not there. You know, I am just going to, short us having an encounter, I'm just gonna let us get closer and see what happens. Okay. Well, there we go. It's not the kind of encounter I want. Oh, those are really big orbits there. Want something where we can get some close science. Not sure how. That should definitely be close. Before we do this, Burn, let's gather some science. Let's keep that data. And let's keep that data. And we do a crew report. Log the temperature. Oh, we can't log temperature from this height. Whoa! Supposed to grab those ladders when you get out. There we go. Board. That's pretty darn good. I'm gonna try to go for this purple orbit for our probe. The apoapsis is at 423. If I put this at 424, that'll be close enough, and that will give us a point from which we can then start matching orbits. And that's in an hour and 21. So let's time warp in. Moon looks darker in this version. Maybe it's just the light from the angle I'm coming in at. Alright. Here we are, passing over the surface. Maybe, now that I'm looking at it, this is only going to be 160 meters per second to get into orbit. So I may be incorrect from the little research. That may be from orbit of Kerbin. It takes 800 to get into the moon's orbit. Yeah, the way we need to point for this burn is basically directly at the sun, which keeps our solar panels from collecting any energy. But we have, well, currently we have 60. We'll be fine for now. We're not using very much at all. Which did that one? Are we? Oh, we are near the moon. Let's keep that data. Let's do the mystery goo. And keep that data. And for some reason we can't do the thermometer. Let's run into that problem. Apparently, if you try to use it and then you can't, it stays disabled or something like that. Anyway, we'll be getting a bit closer to the surface before we need to do our burn. Alright, we got about 20 seconds. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think we have achieved orbit. And we'll just... That's pretty darn good right there. And let's quickly... Or not so quickly, I'm going to nose up here just so the solar panels get some sun exposure. Yes, and we've recharged our battery. And we're in orbit around the moon. We used quite a bit of our fuel. And we used all the fuel from the center tank. So even though it doesn't really look like it, we have about half our fuel left, I think. Well, each of these has 100. Maybe not. This holds almost 400. Anyway, I think I'm going to call this here, this episode. We're in orbit around the moon. When we get the apoapse, I'll be releasing this satellite, and then we would have to match orbits here. And we'll see about landing, or just gathering some science and heading back, at least partially completing the mission. We can design a better ship next time. Or maybe upgrade the launch pad so we can carry or launch heavier ships. Yeah, we don't have that money right now, but completing this mission may give us... Yeah, well, give us the money to do the upgrade, but then we'd be out of funds. So we may have to do a few other missions first. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. And we'll be back with more Kerbal Space Program next time. See you then.